Welcome to Getting Back Up, where grief meets growth.
Two men, two fathers, and one shared journey of rebuilding.
We're talking about life after cancer, love, loss, and everything no one tells you.
I'm David McClain.
And I'm Jamal Jones, and welcome to Getting Back Up podcast, Finding Life After Death.
Jamal, do you ever have that moment where you think you'll forget your late wife? Those moments, something about her you can't recall immediately?
Or the moment where, yes. Right. But it's also the moment where you're like, oh shoot, I did forget this thing.
And it could be a sense of panic in that situation.
Guilt.
Or guilt, right, at the same time.
Yeah, and I think it happens because you feel like it's bigger than forgetting something in particular. You feel like you're forgetting history.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I think today in particular, that's what we want to talk about, this fear that a lot of widowers carry with them, and they rarely talk about it, especially out loud.
Mm-hmm. And that's, what if I forget about her? Mm-hmm. Or should I?
Yeah.
Right.
Really, our intention today is to make widowers and widows, everyone, to really understand that healing and remembering aren't competing goals.
Yeah, you can't stay stuck. We always say you can't stay stuck in the past. And you can't stay stuck, and you don't have to, in order to be connected, right? You can always be connected to these people.
Yeah, man. I can remember trying to recall specific conversations with Nalani one day, especially as different household routine things are coming up.
And how did that sit with you?
I mean, I couldn't place those calls or those conversations immediately. That I just couldn't. And then I was thinking, man, is this the slipping away and forgetting?
Yeah, it almost stops you, like in your tracks in that moment.
It did, and it wasn't really just about a specific conversation. Mm-hmm. I think it was really about those conversations that we had, maybe in total.
Yeah.
That one by one, a lot of those are forgotten because I've got to move forward without that person being there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I know for me, like, one of the things that I've dealt with, and I still deal with it, right? Like, and the further you get away from it, especially, like, they always say, like, you shouldn't memorialize, so to speak, like the loss in a way. You start getting to a point where you start forgetting the details. You start forgetting kind of the time. Did this happen was that 2010 or was that 2015?
Yeah.
And you start you start replacing things. I say part of it is age. You just start forgetting. He starts down in the grandparents. Oh, was that 1990? What do we think? And it's even more important. But there's a part where it's important, even because you're trying to recall not just your story, but also your late spouse's story for your children.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like, even that component of, like, trying to help them piece together history.
Yeah.
Right. And then again, is it lost? Right? Is it forgotten? Or, like, is the burden of carrying all of that supposed to be on us?
When can you remember for you where it started to get fuzzy? Like, when was that time for you?
I think I would say probably around, I definitely think probably around year 5, right? Where, we had moved forward. I'd gotten remarried. We had moved, right? So much of it was trying to recall these details. You get past certain milestones like birthdays or holidays or days that were important for me, for my late wife, Janice. And you get past that day and you look, oh shoot, we forgot that day, right? I forgot this, Janice loved that day. I would have loved to share that with my kids. And I think it starts, for me, it started around that time. But I think organically, things are going to slip, right? There's going to be times.
But let me ask you, let me go back to that.
Yeah.
Did you feel not remembering contributed to either their trauma or their lack of moving forward, or your lack of moving forward and staying stuck? Or what was it? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I think for me it was, should the fact that I forgot this, or that this was less important, or that there was no, turn the page on this day in December 19, like, and like, I think for me there was a part where I had to accept that, hey, like, this is the natural part of the grieving process, right? It's the normalization of the grief, the normalization of the loss. It's not to say that there aren't important things that, I've gone back and say, hey, I didn't even realize, to the kids, I didn't even realize that yesterday was XYZ. And, I meant to tell you this, or like, I want to tell you this story about your mom, or even just like piecing together what life was, because they were young.
Yeah.
Right. So I may remember certain things, or you may remember certain things when the kids, when with Milani, and you may be like, oh yeah, well, this is like an organic memory for me. They were 5 or 6, and they may not remember that.
Right. That's all. Versus now, as a teenager, things are coming in.
It's their memory,
right?
Versus like, yeah. So
and it's that era of in their life and development and maturity that things are coming in a little bit more differently at 5, and that sensory then is different than their sensory and how they take things in now as an adult. Did I mess up your story?
No. I think the other thing too is like when you the end of your day, you're death scrolling through your phone, and whether you got Apple, Google, Microsoft, whatever, some app is gonna be like, hey, this has happened 10 years ago, and you're like, oh shoot, right? And it's a reminder, like, that's great, but sometimes I'm like, I didn't need that right now.
This is a theme that comes up for us, doesn't it? We had technology in that.
It is. It's like it gives you the curse, right? I was like,
gosh, yes.
Otherwise you'd have to pull the box out and go through the old photos.
That's true too, because we don't have photo albums like that's our parents' generation, making photo albums and whatever, and it up here in our studio.
I think the last for me, the last photo albums that I had were like post-college, right?
Yeah.
I've dated myself, but
yeah,
there are no more, remember, there are no more of the negatives.
Yeah, that's right. Going to the pharmacy to pick up your packet of bottles.
Right. But now it's the phone, your technology populates these memories from you. And sometimes you don't want them. And sometimes it's a good reminder, because it's great, because sometimes I'll be, let me forward this to the kids.
Yeah.
Right. And that's helpful.
Is that something that you had kind of mentioned one time before about kind of discovering certain strong memories stay and the others will fade, and that's okay?
Well, it's the ones, and it's not to say like they're all memories. So this is the struggle, I think, with loss. This is the struggle with this experience, is you feel this burden to hold on to every single memory, but that's not one. It's not realistic.
Yeah.
Right. So like, sorry, take that responsibility off of your plate right now, because it's not realistic for you to hold on to every single memory. But I think it's also, you will self-regulate the memory and help, and life will help to define for you the ones that are the most memorable.
Yeah.
The most relevant, the most needed, versus which ones are like, oh yeah, remember that time we went to Baskin Robbins?
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
Like, that might not be that important.
Right.
Maybe there's a picture and an intimate look between, Janice and the kids. That was, I want to share this with them so I can see this love.
Yeah.
But that's an image, that's a memory that you share. But is it like, I have to make sure that I bring up this every time? Like,
Right.
That's not. I don't think that's gonna be realistic.
It's more these events happen.
Yeah.
That the time that was spent even if it was getting ice cream or going to the mall or whatever it is, these events add up
Yeah.
to this remembrance and the time spent with
Yeah.
with Janice, the kids, and some of them may be the memories that they only know,
Right.
Because you weren't there for whatever reasons, because that's parenting.
Yeah.
You know, so
How about you?
I think, man, I think it was forgetting her voice, which I was thinking about because I had asked my mother, who's a widower of many years. I've talked about she lost the cowboy.
Yeah.
We made good.
Tiny, who was
Tiny, who was not tiny. It was a cowboy, actually, a real cowboy. Rode on horses, rodeos, domesticated wild mustangs, mended, and so much more. And so I think,
I don't know why I picture him like, yeehaw. Like,
well, that might be part of it, but you watch too many westerns, I think, is really what it is. But anyway, I especially had to go back, particularly Jamal, when we were some of our interviews, our TV interviews and such, and they were asking for assets. And I remember looking through the videos, trying to, because they, well, what was she like? And do you have any recordings of her? And that evolved later for us as the recordings and what have you. And I found it, and then so I heard a few. One like at a birthday party, another she's narrating something birthday party or part, and just remembering her tone. And I said, "Oh shoot, yeah." And I didn't want to forget that because I asked my mother the same thing. Have you forgotten Tiny's voice? Do you remember his voice? So I just remember asking her, and so that set me down the journey of trying to find that out.
and I think that's a good, like, because it's okay to, you're gonna forget.
Yep.
Right. It's like not talking to a friend in a long time. You get on the phone with them and you're like, oh wow, like I forgot this is why we're friends. But I think there's a part where like, yeah, you truly forget, and the excitement of like that memory, that person being triggered, I think it's okay. I think it's a natural part. But these are people who were in our lives and part of our lives for 20 years.
That's
right. Like, why do we feel guilty about erasing them, or this gradual, not erasing, but gradual forgetting the details, but
Or giving that time and space for that memory.
yeah,
Even though you have to move forward and credit it and create new memories. That's right. Exactly. And so I just remember taking that out. And I also just remember, I think a lot of my friends will remember when she used to laugh. It was that quiet laugh.
Yep.
And the tears would just come from laughing. And nothing was audible.
Yes.
For a while. She was just laughing and holding it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It was, and that's just pure joy.
Right.
And enjoying.
And those are important because the last parts, your last experiences, were not that.
Yeah.
Like our last experiences with these women in our lives were not these moments where we got to see that deep laughter.
That's right.
Right. That, in some cases, infectious laughter that just seeing that level of joy would make you feel, make me, oh, I'm glad she has this level of joy. This is great to see that.
Yeah.
But in those last moments, those last weeks, like it was not that. So it's like to be able to have that still,
It's true.
is a good, is a good, because then it also helps you know that there's peace.
Yeah.
In this.
And to get us through those last moments where we're by bedside, hospital, you at home, when Janice at home, taking care of her at home,
Right.
where they couldn't talk.
Yeah.
At a certain point, they couldn't cry. They couldn't do anything. They were just staring up at the ceiling. Or in my case, that was eyes open, just staring up there.
Yeah. I think it's important too to go through that, like something like that. For me personally right now, as I have moved forward, it makes me truly appreciate laughter and joy more.
Yeah.
Right. It truly makes me truly appreciate seeing my children laugh, and my now wife Jordan. It makes me appreciate and pay attention to those things more, because you realize how those things can be gone
That's
right. But you realize how like it's not just these day-to-day chores in life. It's these small moments of watching them laugh, or these small moments of receiving a message or a text message, or something like that, whatever. Like your life, like this is so much more than just, life with a person. It's these very, very small, seemingly insignificant experiences.
But then also going back to this joy of the kids and when they're laughing, is that true top grade joy and laughter? Because they have trauma below the surface and maybe at the surface too.
Absolutely.
And is this pure for them, or do they realize it's still with this memory of who is lost, and they have to understand the moment and move forward too? And that's what I worry about with the kids in that sense. So anyway, but also where I started to in my forgetting her is I was in a conversation with somebody. I was looking for something in my phone, and it you can do the search, and it brought up Lamani and brought her some of her text messages, and I was just then started to think about what did that kind of routine, just that everyday look like. Right. It could be just get dinner started.
Yeah, exactly. Girls, hey, don't forget milk.
That's right. Here's the grocery list. Don't forget my lemon sorbet. You know what I mean? It was and that's exactly what it was. And so, what I think is so interesting for me and for you as well as the people who are listening to us is that something so mundane and just normal routine of the day becomes this museum piece, this digital museum piece. And something etched in digital amber. Yeah. In a way. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't want to forget her. And I'm those text messages will stay right where they are.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a part, I think there's history. It's almost like time capsule.
Yeah.
A component of the time capsule. I don't know if you have, I still have, Janice's cell phone, right?
Yeah.
And
there's a lot,
and there's a part of it where it's just like one day when the kids are ready, here you go. Right? Like, I'm not going to go through it. I'm not going to go and scrape all the angry text messages to see she sent me.
Okay, all right, now you can.
Delete.
All right, go ahead.
Delete. Damn him. Right? Like, they joke that all women have like our nickname in their phone, as us say, is this asshole Jamal.
I wonder.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, but no, I think there's a part where it's just like here's this, is that invasive in privacy, whatever. But I think there's a component. It's just like to your point, like what is history now, right? And how do we preserve it? Naturally, organically, versus being okay letting some of it go and exist as it is.
Yeah. But to your point also, this is this sense of who creates history,
right? How
it is written, how it is received, and how it is edited by that person who's in control of writing.
Exactly.
That is
so is it exactly. So is it my right to delete certain things,
or to get more of a sense and fullness of the relationship that you and Janice, your late wife, had, so that your kids can go, oh,
right?
Because then it's everything isn't roses,
right?
And
now they're age appropriate, where I can say to them that yes, we loved each other, and yes, we loved you guys, and yes, we were committed to being there for you.
Yes.
It wasn't always sweet.
Right.
And so many of us, I think we can't, this is part of the history, and like this element of like, should I forget her, and what's appropriate to tell, like what's appropriate to hold on to versus not. Like there's a part of us like where we in our lives as the survivors, like we have this responsibility, and the challenge is to present this person in the greatest light.
Yes.
And honor them by doing that. You could there's this stuff, and when we do that though, it's like, well, which memories do I share?
Mm-hmm.
Right, because I want to think about them in the best light, but I also want everybody else to think about them in the best light all the time. And with our kids, so only have this stuff, But there's a part of me that I have to be responsible and say, because their mother would have said to them, do this differently than I did.
That's exactly what she said.
Right? I have things with my kids where I'm saying, don't be like dad, do this differently. Right? Like, we also have to take the responsibility of also doing that and this in these things we have to hold on to, or these things that we're trying to prevent forgetting. Right? I think it's this a little bit of a tug of war.
I think so. Yeah. So yeah. So that's just how it kind of went for me. How it kind of showed up in those situations.
Yeah.
And just really having to understand these memories are going to arrive unexpectedly at times.
Yeah.
And take a moment for that. And it's, as you said, it's not going to be this perfect recall when you think of these memories, and that's okay. And then there's going to be this idea of giving the history to the kids to then work out for themselves as well, and that's okay. So what it really is I think in those moments it was that fear of losing connection.
Yeah. And again, that's just like, you're not afraid necessarily forgetting all the details.
Yeah, I think I think we're just afraid of losing a part of whatever that relationship really was.
I mean, and there's an element of it where it's like, it's not just the relationship, it's actually a part of ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if we think about that, like almost 20 years plus for you, right?
Yeah, so 17 plus married, they were about 20.
Yeah, and so for 15, right? For me, it's like there's a fear in forgetting that, a fear in saying, okay, well, like, this is why it's like the battle, the struggle of the grief process is how many of us are just trying to forget completely what you're forgetting your life.
Yeah. What do you do with this? You have to learn from that existence, where you are at this point and move it over. Yeah.
So I mean, where this shows up, I think it starts to show up in like these little moments.
Yeah.
Right.
The music we listen to, that we share.
Yeah.
We talked about these photos. Some of the people we knew throughout those names.
Yes.
Through the joint history that you had with Janice, your late wife. I had with Nalani, my late wife, and a lot of these dates. That kind of mark time.
Yes.
So where it really shows up again is it's starting to forget this date, and maybe that's okay. Or a story, or some detail related to exactly what's going on. And when people ask, well, what was going on?
Right.
I don't really remember as much.
And that it's okay, right? It's okay to forget something.
Yeah.
That's part of the conversation. Right, that's part of the experience and part of the discussion with the kids as they explore, and they, particularly when you have children or family and you want to continue exploring. It's okay to be like, you know what, and go through that deep thought and extract the most important things out of that moment or whatever. I think another part is like, we talked about like throwing away things, like the physical things that our late wives had, the huge closets, all the shoes,
Right.
the irreplaceable.
We can open businesses with the clothes our late wives had, man.
But then it's also it's everything else. It's all these other things that they had that you have, right, that we still have that are part of that time capsule.
Yeah, for sure. So. I think one thing you had brought up in a previous episode, it's a theme for both of us, is moving homes.
Yeah.
Moving homes the way you had left your Austin home and then came all the way across the country, hacking up those memories and boxes or whatever and editing out even in that.
Well, like you're going through it and when you just like got, what's Erica Badu says, pack light.
Oh,
right. Like she.
That's true.
Right. And not Tyrone, but like you gotta get through stuff, and it's a part you have to go through the process of like letting go of certain things. And there's almost, I remember going through like in that process of like the memories. I remember going through boxes and bins for the kids or bins packing, and I'm I'll call the kids and I'll be like, hey, do you want this? Your mom used this for this, and this was, so you recalling this memory, yeah, or on her behalf, and they're looking at you like, no, I don't want it. And you're like, what? This is important. What do you mean you don't want it? I'm like, all right, well, you don't want to put this in your bin? I'll put it in this bin for you. This is like, you've got the bin that they want and the bin that they're gonna want 10 years from now that they don't care about today.
You don't want this 90s R&B CD collection?
Your mom loved Jodeci.
That's right. Oh my gosh. These are not my children.
Like, meanwhile, they look at this. Meanwhile, they don't want anything to do with Jodeci, and because they looking at TikTok videos of Jodeci today. Exactly. Like, oh, that's what mom liked. Yeah, I don't know about that. So,
But something just to kind of fish out where this shows up, and for all of you all to think about is creating new memories without her.
yeah,
That's where it's gonna show up.
yeah.
So what surprised me though, man, was that the number of memories that kind of faded, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and then it's like, for me, that's definitely, I think the ones that became stronger were kind of surprising for me. That was the one where I thought about, and I'm not even talking about stuff that was like during her battle. It's like prior to her battle, the memories that are like stuck in my head about who she was, how she was, and why she was the way she was, and the way she was, and things that I'm like, I want to make sure I let the kids remember. Oh, let me hold on to this. Let me hold on to this one. And yeah, I think that was the one. Those stronger ones are the ones that I want to say self-selected. The ones that my brain has decided you're gonna remember that. But that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Strange ones. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like some just seem to become clearer with time, while others fade.
Some of the emotional memories, or those are the ones that often remain the strong. Something that just left you, maybe not that conversation, but the result of that time with that person.
Yeah. Have you ever been? I know there's moments where I'm talking to the kids and like they have a memory, and I'm like, you haven't.
Right. Like that was important to them.
Yeah. That one is. Those are the interesting. I remember even after Jana's passed, Jackie, my oldest, she remembers spilling curry on something, and like she felt guilty because she's spilling curry, and like Janice got upset. And I was like, I don't think mom was that upset about the curry. Like, you could let this one go. And I was just like, I felt so bad, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but like that's not one to hold on to. But hey, for whatever it's like, they're holding on, and then for her, it was like in that moment, her holding on to a moment, one of the very, very rare moments that there was disappointment right from mom, right?
It's the stage of their maturity, just at
Yeah.
So, but they may laugh at that now if you bring that back up.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
And I think what surprised me is that memory isn't the same as connection. That doesn't mean it was any looser or not as solid, that connection to Nolani. And this is something for you all to think about too. It's just that the memory isn't this. It's just not the same. The memory doesn't have to equal that connection.
Yeah.
So I think don't kill yourself for that. Yeah, but it did kind of surprise me as it goes along. It may surprise you all as well.
Yeah, I think another thing, this one, when you have children, I think they go through this when they're young. I think when they're young and when they don't have this full catalog of memories that you have, the surprising piece to me is the intensity of love without history.
Yeah.
Without the full catalog.
Right.
Like
Without that full recall.
Yeah, without that full recall. Like, and it just, to me, it highlights, it puts a spotlight on what love is. Like love, I've realized through this, is a coded experience. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You look at it through loss, you look at it through parents and family members going through, and having family, seeing your family members with memory issues. Like, love is coded, and I think that's something where you carry this burden of, or this responsibility of all cataloging all the memories, and this guilt of letting go of something or forgetting something, and you're like, it doesn't mean you love this person any less, and it doesn't mean that, they say all things fade with time. Love doesn't fade with time, right? Like, love is going to still be there. And I think that's something that's like surprised me, that even without the full catalog of love, the full catalog of experiences, the full catalog of memory that, that in particular the kids have, that the intensity of their love is still as strong as it was 10 years ago, 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And even for me, like, although I've moved forward, like the love that I had for my wife then, my late wife then, it still exists today, right? Like, I didn't stop, and time hasn't said, Jamal, time hasn't said, it's been 9 years, you've moved forward, stop caring about her.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't happen, right? You can place her in time in a period of life in your timeline, but it doesn't mean that, okay, that all that feeling love, all that hope that you had, all those things, those emotions, like, they're dead. No, they're not. Right. They've evolved. Right. And I think that's something that I'll like learn through this experience, or be personal.
The reason you all came together is to create and enhance the idea of love. And so that always is set in time. That can't change.
Yeah.
And that's not going to affect you moving forward either.
Right. Yeah. I think that brings up, where I struggled. For me personally, it was like this feeling that I have to be, I keep using it like the catalog, and I don't know why I keep thinking of like the librarian.
Yeah.
Old school librarian pulling out the, and they're fingering through the card.
Yeah.
Card file. I'm pretty sure our listeners know that. But like that, you feel this responsibility to have this organized structure of recall, and this organized process for all of the memories, and all, like, the reality is it's not only on you, right? And I think that's been the challenge. That was the challenge for me early on, and sometimes it still is, like, the thing that I have to be like, Jamal, it's okay.
You can't be the keeper of it all. The house of records.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Exactly.
But you have that sense of, maybe in this loss, if I don't remember, who will?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Where I think I struggle with this, and where this kind of got hard for me, is at some point, and this is for all of you as well, is that you have to get this pressure to think that you have to remember it all, or else it will be forgotten.
Yeah.
The fear of losing these important dates and details, particularly for the children, as we just mentioned.
Yeah. I know for me, like, sometimes I have conversations. Sometimes, you collect things, you hold on to things, and, I think our wives are always, at least, and my wife, but I also have, other friends who that, you have so many boxes. Why you still need to keep the box for the TV that you bought 5 years ago? Just in case I might have to return it. Like, that warranty is long up, but I still have the box.
Exactly.
But I think it's like this responsibility to hold on to all of the keepsakes. This is like struggling. Like, I struggle to know what to let go when, what to throw away when, what's a memory that's worth, what's a thing that's worth holding on to versus what's not. I literally have a box filled with, like, and this is like, because it was life with, Janice and the family in particular prior to cell phones, that this is, video record, I don't even know what video camera, your tapes in a box that I have to figure out how to get converted at some point. Right. The other day I was talking about, like, at one point, like, we went skydiving. So this is 20 plus years ago.
Okay.
But I have a cassette, a VCR tape, right, of Janice skydiving. And I'm like, we were talking about this the other day, and I'm like, oh, we gotta show this to you. Well, I don't have a VCR. That's right. Right. So like, you're gonna have to wait till I send that in a box to have it shit box and convert it. Like, but those are the things that it's just like, is it that important? It's a 5-minute video. But yeah, the kids would want to see their mom that way. So it's on me to do that. But
Full of life.
things you,
And full of life.
yeah.
How much do they remember that, But yeah, as far as keepsake and such, if you all were to turn around and see this attic, I got plenty of.
I say why this is the perfect set, because it's the reminder of, for us, like being here is a reminder of like the complexity of loss, and complexity of like that process, and how it's not like, it's been 5 years, Dave, get rid of these boxes, right? Like, it's not that simple.
Because I'm the one who has to decide what is to be kept, what memories, and to always have at the ready, or to display, or to box, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's that pressure on me of boxes that have moved from place to place, and now we have older parents sending us the stuff, and my place has become storage.
Exactly.
To an extent, for all of them, boxes that show in my house. Oh no, baby, we need you to hold on to the family history. You're the archivist.
Yes, exactly.
Let's jump to you. You just was just it. So anyway, we're out to struggle. It's just balancing this memory of how do I move forward? What hold on to, and what stays.
Yeah.
And so I can move forward.
And then the perception of what everybody thinks. And then the piece of it where everybody else is like, Dave, you still got so much stuff?
Yeah.
Why is her stuff up here? Have you moved? Are you okay? Like, no, I'm a goddamn inventorist. Like, it's a supply chain business up here, right? Like, there's a reason, there's a process. This box moves closer and closer to the stairs every year.
Yeah.
Or every 6 months, one box moves closer to the stairs because, okay, now, eventually I bring the kids up. Okay, now it's time, right?
And there's no accounting principle up in here.
Yeah.
There's no last in, first out. Everything is first in, first in. That's it.
It's the masking tape with the marker. Like,
It's just they all came at the same time. Nothing before anything else up in here, to cut it off. But look, that's all right. Yeah.
No. I mean, I think, and then it's like the like I said, it's the internal pressure you feel to manage this process, the external pressure you feel of how you're managing the process, and then you try to figure out what's not just right for you, what's right for the kids, and in some cases the whole family, because there's boxes in here that there's a family member that doesn't live in this house.
That's right.
That might be helpful for them. Yeah, right. And you own that.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's up to use. Yeah, it's accepting the memory pressure. Yeah, the loads of memory.
Yeah, or just this idea of forgetting as if it's a failure. You can't treat it that way. It's not failure. Yes. So I think what make this worse is, as we said, believing every detail has to be preserved.
Yeah. Or trying to force it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I figured this out early, particularly with the kids, of like forcing the memory.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh yeah, I wanted to tell you this. And you are, I was uncomfortable. Like, how do I put this? It seemed like they're playing peacefully right now.
Listen, turn off the cartoons.
Yeah.
So
Since you're watching cartoons, let's watch this video with mom. Like, and it's like you force it, and they're looking at you like, hey, why are you doing this now?
Yeah.
Maybe I need this right now, or like zero context. I think that's the hard part of like forcing it.
Yeah, and what can make all of this worse is just avoiding the conversations about her.
Yeah, kind of know when it's appropriate, as you're saying. I mean, we're having fun with the idea of when the children, because it's on our minds, we want to have that conversation. But I think also with other people, on our universe, those people, our core friends,
Right.
that, that can make it worse if you're avoiding the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that part too is, it's okay to do like isolating from the family stories. Like I said, it's okay to have those conversations with family and they bring up something, and knowing that for them, it's part of their grief process. For you bringing it up to them, it's helpful for this because you all have these collective memories. And I think avoiding that will definitely make the process more difficult.
And also what makes it worse, and we kind of really talked about it already, is equating this memory with love as if it's
not somebody.
yeah, exactly. Is it that can make it worse?
Yeah.
When you really think about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's you can't. There's no perfect process in this, and you don't feel like you have to be the perfect narrator of your late spouse's wife. It's a collective process. Like I said, there's things that the kids remember that I'm like, wait, oh wow, like you remember that? I might not even remember that. Or giving the responsibility to other family members who also may be able to bring context or history to who they were. Because guess what? They were family before you were. That's even in the picture, right? And I mean, that is going to be important process.
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah. And what helps, right? Sharing these stories. Sharing them as regularly as they are appropriate in those circumstances. Because I think a lot of times probably end up laughing more than we do crying.
Yeah. I mean, exactly.
Right, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, talking with the kids, the family, being okay writing stuff. I think especially now, I feel like everything we do is just relegated to a laptop or phone, and we're always, I think sometimes taking a moment to just write the thought down, write the memory down, if it's important to you to hold on to.
Yeah, and I think technology can work both ways in that sense. It can remind you of those memories at times when we don't want some of those to come, but it selected those memories for you which you had not.
Right.
And that's up to you.
Yeah.
But as you said, you can write those things, and that's where technology also comes in handy, or where it does come in handy is you use your note section or whatever to write in that memory.
Yeah.
So it's locked in.
Yeah. I think the other, understanding that connection is independent when recall.
Yeah.
Right. Like, again, this goes with the love. Like, you don't stop having love for this person or stop caring about their memories and the experiences just because you begin forgetting the details or forgetting certain things. You've already probably carried enough guilt in this process. You don't need the guilt.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I forgot this day. Like, you're going to forget. Your brain only has so much space that it can retain in the front end, versus all the stuff that is more about recall.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let those memories evolve, man. That's what's going to happen. And if you're listening to us now and you're worried about forgetting,
just listen. Understand that the fear is rooted in love.
Yeah,
that's where it's coming from.
It's not failure.
Yeah,
it's not failure.
That's it. Yeah. And then I think what if you are forgetting, right? Does it mean it? Doesn't mean that you're losing a connection. Doesn't mean that you're losing love for this person. Doesn't mean you don't care about what they were or who they are to you. That has nothing to do with anything.
It just could mean the relationship is changing for them.
Or you're changing.
Which is okay as well. Yeah. So I think some things to kind of take away from this. You got to tell the stories. Don't you?
Yeah. Be okay telling the stories. Talk about it. If the kids ask questions, if the family members call and they want to talk about it, just be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something that just popped up top of mind for you and you don't have anybody to talk to, you don't want to talk, write it down.
Yeah.
Right? That's fine. Right? Write it down in a space where you can bring it back up, or at minimum where somebody may find it in the future so they can know where you were and what you were doing.
Yeah, I think so. Just stop treating imperfect memories as disloyalty.
Yeah.
That's not what this is. Right. You're not disloyal to the memory and what the reason you came together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, it's the kids, ask the kids. The kids are a part of this process and they own some of this. Give them a little bit of that responsibility to bring their parent forward. Right? I think that's an important part of this journey.
Yeah. And you don't have to force it. Yeah. Because it's going to come. Yeah. Because that is indicative of the relationship that you had. And just how they're evolving and moving forward.
Yeah. Listen, man, I think if you take anything from this is a lot to carry for one person.
Yeah. I mean, love it's a big memory, and it's complicated, and love is certainly bigger than just that collection of memories.
Yeah, and it doesn't, like we said, it going through the process, remembering, recall, it doesn't mean that you aren't letting go. It doesn't mean that you're not going through a healthy grieving process, even as much as you remember. And forgetting the details does not mean that you care less or that, you're this person and what you went through is not important to you. Like, none of those things are correlated.
Right.
The fact that you're dealing with this, it's okay. The guilt, as we say, is always okay. Don't let it hold you down. Don't let it beat you up, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, definitely. We really appreciate you joining us again on Getting Back Up, Finding Life After Death podcast. Hey, keep sending those comments to us.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, and we want to definitely hear those comments and just build out that episode again with all those comments. Really enjoy doing that. Hit us on all our socials.
Thumbs down, 5 stars.
Yeah, subscribe everywhere and get the word out. Let others folks know this community.
Share this.
Yeah,
you share that.
The nurturing space so that you all can come and we can come together. So appreciate your time.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us on Getting Back Up, Finding Life After Death. If something in today's episode spoke to you, pass it on, because somebody out there needs to hear it.
For sure. We're on all the social mausoleums, so follow us on Instagram, Threads, TikTok. Mostly it will be in the form of Get Back Up Podcast.
And be sure to subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast.
And remember, getting knocked down is part of life.
But getting back up, that's how we live.
We'll see y'all next time.